Oh, hello. I hope you're having a good day. Hey, hey, new subscribers. Hey, people that's coming to hang out. Hey, new viewers. Hey, new comments. What's up? It's nice to see you. It's late. I'm trying to keep my consistency, keep my groove going. I had to write a paper about schizophrenia and whether we think it's biological or if we think it's environmental. Super dope assignment. And so my day was a little bit full, but I am here. And what I was doing in the meantime was I was watching the Diddy documentary, but I only watched the first episode and about half of the second episode. So I'm still working on it. I got a bunch of stuff that I'm doing right now, and it's mad late, and I still got to work in the morning, but it's fine because we finna act up a little bit. All right, so why am I here? I am here because I wanted to ask you guys a question, and I want you to tell me what you think. I was watching the documentary, and let me say, to start, it's really good. I will be very, very honest that especially like watching the first episode, I'm like, you know what? I get the appeal, right? I get why people, are really interested in being around Diddy and just being really invested in his come up too, right? Like there was an important um growth process that was happening. And of course, they're giving some of his background story and some details about his moms and some of the things that he went through as a kid. And so, I'm coming back with a part two so that we can have a separate conversation about that because I was like, yo, if Diddy is mad about this, then he's easily like, my opinion, of course, easily I could see that he may have developed like some version of borderline personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorders, and those two mood disorders tend to overlap, right? So the differential diagnosis, it happens where those things look very similar. He exhibits a lot of those qualities, and considering that he came from a traumatic background, it just makes a lot of sense. But we're not here to talk about that right now. One of the things that I really want to talk about, shout out to 50 Cent because he did like a really, really good job in orchestrating this thing, right? And just based on his development of the power universe and that sort of thing, it just makes sense, right? There's an expectation that he's going to have some sort of contribution that is significant, stand out, and really does make an impact on how we perceive what is being shown to us. On the other side, it made me think about something, right? I know that a lot of people like to talk about Jay-Z and call him a hater and everything. Shout out to him, it's his birthday today. Um, People like to talk about him and bad business. There is no way that anybody is looking at the situation and not saying that it's wild that 50 Cent went and got Bro's like videotapes, his documentary details, and executive produced it as someone that I think that an enemy is an overstatement of that, but someone that he is competitive with. And so here is what I'm thinking about in regards to that. I think that 50 Cent is very much working on his reckoning, right? I really genuinely believe that his intention is to be recognized not just as a popular, very successful rap artist, but I think that he is really, really punching for that mogul recognition. He actually posted about it and made a comment in regards to wanting to be or being from Southside Jamaica, Queens, and coming for everything, right? Like there is a perception that I have of him that very much is leaning into this ideal that, again, he's pushing for more. Jay Z and Diddy, as like, they are hip hop moguls. And we have like, Eminem, at least in my opinion, and I could be wrong. So, chat it up in the comments. Let me know how you feel about it. And, argue with me, but keep it cute. Uh, so Eminem, Ludacris, Nelly, like these are people that Busta Rhymes, like these are people that will always be super important in the culture. We're not gonna forget the Busters, the Fat Joes, the Fabs, the Jada Kisses, like we're not gonna ever forget them, just based on where we are. But we recognize that Jay-Z and Diddy made an imprint on hip hop culture that's very specific. Again, that mogul notion. And I really believe that 50 Cent is fighting to be in that space of recognition. And this is the reckoning, right? So I think that the documentary and him being the executive producer, I really believe it's a double entendre because he's also a rapper. And that's just my thought. And the other thing that I have, and this might be a little bit of a spoiler, so just cut this part off because I don't want to give or accidentally slip up details that might be valuable. But I think that watching the documentary, you'll still get an appreciation for it. But just as just in case, so they are going through the motions of his career and so on and so forth, Diddy in particular in the documentary. And it gets to a certain part, of course, when they start to talk about Pac and Biggie. And as they start to discuss that dynamic and how Diddy came up with the concept of Big Papa based on what he was seeing on the West Coast, right? And as they went into that discussion, hear me out. Dare I say that the unraveling of Pac, Biggie, and Diddy, can I tell you that I immediately thought about our current big three conversation? And do I need to explain who I think is which characters? Can I say that? Dare I say that I was watching this and I immediately was like, hold on a second. This is giving a little bit of deja vu. Now, this very much could be like I'm missing the opportunity to see what comes up next because I haven't finished watching it. But as they started to have the discussion, it very much took on a mirror of what we're seeing today. And I am not by any means suggesting that Drake is like Diddy in all facets. I am not saying that at all. So please do not take that away from this. What I am saying is that that notion of effective marketing, the look, the kind of elevating above everybody else. Like when Diddy went and he catapulted above everybody else on Bad Boy Entertainment. Don't get me wrong, like he put together the organization, but it's crazy that he was the only one that did well. And it looks very similar to the Young Money kind of setup where it's like, yeah, it's funny how like all of them came together. And of course, Birdman would technically be the equivalent, but just in this space of being extra involved and looking at it at this juncture, it made me think of Dot Cole and Drake. And it was like, yeah, just like I don't believe that Cole and Dot really have like super problems, but the inclusion of somebody like Drake, and I'm not trying to be mean, please don't take it that way. Drake made that relationship complicated, not different than Diddy made that relationship with Pac and Big kind of complicated. And watching that made me pay attention to it a little bit differently. And I think I'm gonna leave it at that for now because I don't want to say too much. I want to watch more of it, get more details out, and tell me what you think. Yo, just have you watched it? Have you seen it yet? Do you see what I'm seeing? Am I nuts? And again, keep it cute. Don't come in here trying to talk to me crazy because I don't need that kind of stuff in my life. But please share your thoughts of what you're seeing so far. I'm actually gonna go and finish folding my clothes and washing my dishes, and I'm gonna finish watching it. And hopefully, I would have finished it by the time the full cycle of tomorrow evening rolls around and everything else. So thank you for watching. Thank you all for showing up. Again, each and every day that you guys are popping in, I'm getting the subscribers, I'm getting the comments, I'm getting the engagement, I'm getting the views. I appreciate you all so very much. I hope that you enjoy the content. And in the meantime, have an extraordinary day. I'll talk to you later.